annual All-Ireland Choral Intervarsities competition hosted by the MTU Glór Choral Society here in the Cork School of Music. We're delighted to bring you another Choral Intervarsities event this year after last year's resounding success. Although we would have loved to host the event in person this year, due to the ever-changing public health guidelines and fluctuating COVID-19 case numbers, our committee had to make the difficult decision to host another virtual event this year. Amid the uncertainty of the pandemic, we were determined to deliver another InterVarsities event with the goal of offering college choirs a platform to perform, build skills and meet other choral singers from around the country. The standard of performances has been exceptionally high this year, and we are very excited to share the competing choirs' performances with you all. While the competition plays a central role in the InterVarsities event, it was important for us to include social and educational aspects too, in order to bring choir members together and celebrate all that we have in common. This weekend, members of all competing choirs attended a variety of workshops, which aimed to take a holistic approach towards choral singing. These workshops encompassed a wide range of topics such as vocal techniques, Alexander technique, and even yoga.
The three performances you are about to see have been viewed and analysed by a panel of adjudicators from various fields of the Irish music industry. Conductor, arranger and composer Mark Armstrong, choral singer and composer Sean Doherty, and sound engineer Chloe Nagel have spent this week assessing the InterVarsities entries in terms of vocal, video and audio technique. In addition, you, the viewers, can also have your say. In the description box below this video, you'll find a link to the voting for the Public Choice Award. Cast your vote for your favourite performance via this link. Voting will close later this evening and the results will be announced live on our social media at the end of tonight's events. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to kick off the competition with our first choir, the UCC Singers.
UCC Singers was founded by Olga Dennehy in 2014 as a competitive subsection of the UCC Choral Society. They compete at both a national and international level. Recent achievements include winning the overall prize at the 2018 Sligo International Choral Festival, winning first prize in the Sacred Music category in the 2019 Cork International Choral Festival, and winning second prize in the 2019 City of Derry International Choir Festival. UCC Singers strive to share beautiful pieces of various genres with their audiences, helping them to develop a deep appreciation for choral music. UCC Singers will now perform Stettet Angelus by Richard Stubra, conducted by Ben Jacob, with video by Adam Byrne, Sarah Jacob and Andrew Tobin, and audio by Ben Jacob and Joseph Gorman.
We now move on to this year's host choir. Glór is the choral society based in the Cork School of Music, making it the only choral society of Munster Technological University Cork. Founded in 2019, the society comprises of students and alumni of MTU Cork and performs a wide-ranging repertoire. As well as focusing on learning music and performing together, there is a strong emphasis on the social aspect of this choir. Last year, Glór made the move to online rehearsals and has released a number of videos in the virtual choir format on YouTube. This year, we are thankful to rehearse in person once again. The All-Ireland Choral Intervarsities 2022 marks our second year competing, and we are delighted to host again. Glór will now perform Canticum Novum by Ivo Antonini, conducted by Robbie Pender. Audio was edited by Manuel Gonçalves and Marios Theodosiadis, with visuals edited by Dylan Tierney.
Cantate Domino, Canticum Novum, 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 Cantate Domino, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum. Canticum Novum, Cantate Domino, omnis terra, omnis terra, omnis terra, cantate Domino, cantate Domino, cantate benedicite. Benedicite nomini eius, cantate Domino, et benedicite nomini eius, et Cantate Domino, Domino, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Canticum Novum, Cantate Domino, Canticum Novum, 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 Cantate Domino, Domino, omnis terra, omnis terra, omnis terra, omnis terra, cantate, 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 Domino, 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 Canticum Novum.
RCSI Choral Society is a mixed voice choir open to members of all schools in the Royal College of Surgeons. The choir is directed by Christina White. Adapting to the adversity of the pandemic, they've undertaken several virtual videos in the last 2 years, available to view on their YouTube and Instagram pages. Generally, the choir holds a Christmas and a spring concert each year. RCSI Choral Society has performed in a wide variety of settings, including last year's Choral Intervarsities. In 2019, they joined the college's Drama Society in Chicago, the first full-length musical performed by the college. That same year, they performed at the RCSI International Night in the Abbey Theatre. They also provide music for the biannual RCSI Anatomy Memorial Service and carol sing at St. Francis Hospice in Blanchardstown. The RCSI's Choral Intervarsities entry this year is Elijah Rock by Emmanuel Emerson.
This concludes this evening's competition, and what an amazing competition it has been. It was fantastic to see the progression from last year's virtual choir videos to this year's videos, where some choirs were able to record as an ensemble. I would like to personally congratulate each and every person involved in the rehearsing, singing, recording and editing process. You should all be very proud of your submissions. Every choir brought something different to the competition, each winning an award in different categories. This is your last chance to vote in the Public Choice Award. The link to cast your vote is in the description box below this video.
Mornington Singers is an award-winning mixed voice choir based in Dublin, conducted by Orla Flanagan. Mornington Singers was the winner of the 4th International Baltic Sea Choir competition held in Latvia in September 2019. The choir was named Ireland's Choir of the Year 2019 at the 65th Cork International Choral Festival. The choir performs a broad range of choral music and specialises in a cappella repertoire, with a particular focus on music from the 20th and 21st centuries. Mornington Singers has established itself as one of Ireland's leading choral ensembles. In addition to its own concert programmes, the choir has sung in live performances of video game music, an electric picnic, on film soundtracks and television, and in concert with Andrea Bocelli, Leslie Garrett and David Putnam. Competition performances have included the International Baltic Sea Choir Competition, the Arezzo International Choral Competition, the Florilège Vocal de Tour, the Maribor International Choral Competition, and, closer to home, the International Choral Festivals of Cork, Derry and Sligo. It is my great privilege to introduce this fantastic choir performing Laughing Song by Ugas Prolins, filmed as part of the International Baltic Sea Choir Competition in 2019.
When the green
Thank you once again to Orla Flanagan and the Mornington Singers for their beautiful performance. Before we begin our award ceremony, I would like to remind you that the voting for the Public Choice Award will remain open until the overall competition winner has been announced. Once again, I would like to thank our adjudicators, Mark Armstrong, Sean Doherty and Chloe Nagel, for the time and effort they have put into watching and critiquing the competition videos over the last few days. The general consensus from our adjudicators is that the competition standard was incredibly high. All three were highly impressed and thoroughly enjoyed the performances. So, without further ado, let us begin with the award for Best Conductor, selected by Mark Armstrong. Some of our conductors featured in this evening's videos. However, each and every one of them, whether they appeared or not, is to be applauded for the effort that is put in behind the scenes when creating videos such as these. Months of rehearsal, recording and editing have been put into preparing music and creating these videos by the conductors. And the award for Best Conductor goes to Robbie Pender of MTU Glór Choral Society.
Our next award goes to the choir with the best audio, selected by Chloe Nagel. The audio editing process for a video such as this is no mean feat. Generally, a click track must be made in order to align the voices. Once this is completed, the audio must then be enhanced with effects such as reverb, compressors, de-essers, panning and more to create a balanced sound. These effects must be carefully handled so as not to take away from the choral sound. This is a difficult and time-consuming process, and all of the audio editors must be applauded for their efforts. And so, the award for Best Audio goes to MTU Glór Choral Society.
Next, we have the award for Best Video, selected by Sean Doherty. Again, the visual recording and editing process is deceivingly difficult. The choir may have chosen a uniform to wear or filmed in certain lighting. The video may have featured the tricky virtual choir box format, or may have used complex transitions to highlight particular areas in the music. Once again, all editing must be done tastefully so as not to distract from the music. The award for Best Video goes to RCSI Choral Society.
Moving on, we have the award for Best Vocal Performance, also selected by Sean Doherty. Not only do choirs have to ensure good audio and visual recording technique, they must not forget that the main focus is their choral sound. Factors such as vocal technique, diction, blend, uniform vowel sounds, and more have been taken into consideration to determine the choir with the best choral sound. And so, the award for Best Vocal Performance goes to UCC Singers.
In order to win the All-Ireland Choral Intervarsities overall prize, a choir must demonstrate excellence in the areas of vocal performance and audiovisual presentation. There must be evidence of skilled vocal technique, well-mixed audio, and aesthetically cohesive video. Over the past number of days, our adjudicators Mark Armstrong, Sean Doherty, and Chloe Nagel have been carefully evaluating and scoring each video in a wide range of categories in order to determine the winner of the overall prize. Our adjudicators were all in agreement that the standard of the videos was incredibly high across the board. On behalf of the Glór Committee, I would like to congratulate each choir and all those involved in the video creation process for your tremendous efforts and for fabulous performances. And so, without further ado, the first runner-up with a score of 212 points is MTU Glór Choral Society. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The winner of the second All-Ireland Choral Intervarsities overall prize with a score of 231 points is the UCC Singers, conducted by Ben Jacob. Congratulations to UCC Singers and all of our award recipients. Voting for the Public Choice Award has now closed. The winner will be announced on the Choral Inter's social media shortly. A huge thank you to all of our participating choirs, conductors, and to our guest choirs and our wonderful adjudicators. On behalf of the Glór Committee, I would like to thank Ciara Glasheen Arten and the MTU Cork School of Music for the use of the Curtis Auditorium and the MTU Society's office for kindly sponsoring the event. I would also like to thank you, the audience, for tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed our event. Please God, we'll be able to plan next year's event in person, and that we'll see some of you at the upcoming Cork Choral Festival.
And now, I invite the New Dublin Voices to close the 2022 All-Ireland Choral Intervarsities with their rendition of Puer Natus in Bethlehem. International award-winning New Dublin Voices is a leading Irish chamber choir. Founded by conductor Bernie Sherlock in 2005, they perform a wide variety of repertoire, ranging from medieval to contemporary. New Dublin Voices has won prizes at major competitions in France, Hungary, Germany, Finland, Belgium, Spain, Latvia, Ireland, Slovenia, England, and Italy, including first prize at the Concorso Polifonico in Arezzo, Italy, in August 2013, thereby becoming the first Irish choir to win a place in the European Grand Prix for choral singing. Most recently, they were awarded the first prize overall in the international competition at the 7th City of Derry International Choir Festival 2019, and the third prize overall at the 16th International Chamber Choir Competition Marktoberdorf 2019. I am delighted to introduce their performance of Puer Natus in Bethlehem by Levente Gioniosi, which they performed at the Marktoberdorf International Choral Festival in 2019.
Jerusalem, Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia.